What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Charlie Savage, and today I just want to preface this video by saying a few things. First off, I'm sorry it's been so long. I know we haven't been posting in this format for a while, but I swear I will be posting these ones bi-weekly with daily iterations of the top 100 going forward. So we should finish this up within the next few weeks. So by the end of April, almost all of this should be out, and that'll be done with. Additionally, as this series comes to a close, I'll be posting it all over both my Instagram and my TikTok. Link to both of those in the description below. Definitely go show it some love. Definitely helps me, and I'd really appreciate it so much, guys. If you like having it here and you want to see it in the vertical and horizontal format, or in this format even, just hit that like and that subscribe, and you'll see it. And if you subscribe, it'll pop up in your shorts feed. I also want to say that I know what series I'm doing after this, and it's going to be more short focused content, as I am trying to do more long form content as well. But I'm not going to abandon this. This has definitely helped me grow, and it's fantastic. And if you're watching on the day that this comes out, tune in to chat pack. That's twitch.tv/chat_pack, where I'll be guest starring on a podcast talking about the top 100 list. Once that's out, I'll also link that in the description below. Now, without further ado, onto the list. Finding its way onto the list at the number 70 spot is Square Enix's Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. If you like the art style of old school SNES JRPGs like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, then you will love this game. It has an active turn-based combat. The game's combat focuses on finding weaknesses with certain weapons. For example, an enemy may be weak to blades, like a dagger, whereas another may be weak to something like fire. It does a fantastic job of retaining the 16-bit sprite work, but bringing it into the style of what is possible in modern game development. It looks beautiful, it applies the art style to a 3D world, and it has amazing shaders. The game centers on 8 characters with their own and unique tales from various fantasy backgrounds, and you explore their past and present adventures. While their tales don't come together in all too satisfying a way, I will say that this game could easily be a precursor to something way better down the line. But if you are anyway interested in anything I said, please do yourself a favor and check out this game immediately. Fighting its way to the sweet spot on the list is Sega's Yakuza Kiwami at number 69. This is the third time I've talked about this game, but there's a good reason for that. Yakuza Kiwami is a fantastic game that focuses on its open world and combat. The open world takes place in one neighborhood in Tokyo and has an emphasis on filling the world with stuff to do rather than its size. You get familiar with the area and it's great. You can go play pool, get into fights, do karaoke, anything else you want to do, the world is your oyster. The story is very much overdramatic as well as incredibly over the top and silly. If you're looking for something lighthearted and action-packed that you can just sink a lot of time into, or just have a lot of fun with, I can't recommend Yakuza Kiwami enough. Additionally, if you want a full review, it's up over on my YouTube channel on youtube.com/SavageGame. Beating its way onto the list at the number 68 spot is Devolver Digital's Hotline Miami. For the uninitiated, Hotline Miami is a fast-paced top-down rushdown shooter / beat-em-up. The game is in the 16-bit pixelated art style that takes place in 1980s Miami. That's right, just like Vice City. So the game is absolutely loaded with drugs, mostly cocaine and tons of murder, and a wonderfully stylized soundtrack, which was done by Moon. Well, mostly by Moon. Anyways, it fits the game perfectly. If you haven't played this game and you're looking for something fun and fast-paced, this game is definitely for you. I highly recommend it. Climbing its way onto the list of the number 67 spot is Assassin's Creed 3. While I understand this is very much not liked nearly as well as the other Assassin's Creed games, however, it was my first one, so it's a little special to me, so I put it on the list. In fact, when this game came out, it's all I played for months at a time, and I was absolutely enamored by it, because up until that point, I hadn't really played too many open world games, let alone a game set in the American Revolution. Normally, I like to leave a recommendation, but this is a perfect example of the Ubisoft formula from that era. But play it if you're interested. It's certainly not for everyone, but I definitely enjoyed myself, and I could easily imagine that others do as well. It's also been remastered, so go check that out. Powering its way onto the list of the number 66 spot is Sucker Punch's 2014 release Infamous Second Son. Once again, this game is looked down upon by fans of the series, but it's more so for the story. It's a fantastically fun game where you play as the protagonist Delsin Rowe, who can take the powers from other people and use them. Like the other Infamous games, your karma is a way in which you choose to play good or bad. I don't want to spoil it, but with 2 endings, neither of them feel entirely satisfying. The gameplay is simply sublime though, and I beat the game twice within the week that it came out just to get the platinum. That certainly counts for something, as we all know that gameplay is king. If you've never played this game and you have a PS4 or a PS5, definitely go get it. You can usually find it for pretty cheap nowadays, and the game definitely still holds up, and I'd recommend it. Jumping its way onto the list of the 65 spot is Nintendo's 2011 title Super Mario 3D Land. While many others may prefer 3D World, I have to say this game feels perfect for portable systems like the 3DS. It feels like a gauntlet of great levels, all of which use the 3DS's 3D feature incredibly well. It's the perfect halfway between making a traditional 2D Mario platformer, but in 3D. There are a myriad of concepts here that make the jump from 2D to 3D, and it has all the traditional variety of levels that you would expect in a Mario game. The game even features unique puzzles that make use of the perspectives that work wonderfully in the actual 3D mode that the system has. Everything about this game just feels right, and it's a blast. If you have an opportunity to play this game, please do. It's so fun. Fighting its way onto the list of the number 64 spot is Arc System's 2017 release Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm gonna be honest, I've never even watched Dragon Ball once in my life, but this game is sick. The game has an absolutely beautiful art style, the intense and hype gameplay that you would expect from a series like Dragon Ball, and the game is surprisingly easy to get into, especially when you find your bearing compared to other fighting games. If you want to get into fighting games and haven't done so already, Dragon Ball FighterZ is the perfect place to start. Even when playing with my friend who never plays fighting games, after about half an hour of gameplay, all of our matches were starting to get closer and closer, and we were trading sets and everything. It was fantastic. Coming in at the 63rd spot is a bona fide Nintendo classic, Mario Kart Wii. Releasing in 2008 and selling over 37 million copies since, Mario Kart Wii was a lot of people's first Mario Kart. Even though Mario Kart 8 is a better game in my opinion, there's something about this game that I just love. The track selection, the added trick mechanic, the implementation of motion controls were all fantastic additions at the time. I mean, you couldn't go to a house for a year without finding one of those Wiimote wheels just lying around. Even up until college, I witnessed people playing Mario Kart Wii despite Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe being popular. The game is definitely worth going back to today if you haven't done so already, and it's just such a fantastic title that I think everyone should play. Coming onto the list of the number 62 spot is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I get it guys, I'm a Melee player and I love talking smack on it, but you can't deny the quality of this game even if it's not my preference in terms of gameplay, and even if the online isn't great. The game is just a love letter to Nintendo, to Smash, and to gaming as a whole. And that's something worth appreciating. Now that Sora is released and it's hard to imagine Smash going anywhere further than it already is, Lord knows that Sakurai has earned his break, that much is certain. So congrats to Sakurai and the team at Sora Studios. This is a fantastic game, everyone should at least play it once, and it's definitely better than a lot of past iterations. My only gripe with this game is just really its lack of single player content, because Brawl just kind of killed that, and that's something that I really wish they would have done with Ultimate, especially with this whole cast of characters. Coming in at the number 61 spot is my favorite puzzle platformer, Mike Bithel's Thomas Was Alone. Now this game manages to tell a wonderfully heartwarming and gripping tale with just one voice actor, jumping blocks, and some very creative design. The story starts off with Thomas, who was alone. He's just a red quadrangle that is on a journey to find himself, and he makes friends along the way. Each of them have different personalities, perceptions, abilities, and all of them are unique in all of these factors as well as their shape and appearance. The game is about discovering yourself, making friends with those around you, and going against your own insecurities. This is a basic game that should really be played by anyone that can play it, even those who don't play too many video games. It's designed very straightforward, very creatively, and everything about it is just fantastic, and I highly recommend it, even if it's not the flashiest thing in the world.